It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our play. It's Thursday. There is magic and mystery. From darkness our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
So last we left off, Bell's Hells, after reuniting, being scattered across Exandria and a slight burst in time, managed to reconvene, catch up a little bit, and decide a number of various paths that should be set upon in the near future. The initial one, upon realizing how wounded Keyleth is and not recovering, to check in with her and Zephyra. You were then sent to the Grey Valley, wandered about the dark and long, cursed and dangerously ominous landscape, avoiding being found and seen for much of it before encountering a number of terrifying fiendish entities. You did battle, and through some quick thinking and some powerful druidic magic, managed to come out of there fairly well. Mm-hmm. So we come back in here in the center of the Grey Valley, where you've made a temporary camp to rest.
I just want to quickly check in with Orem. How you doing? This is your lady's on, her life is on the line,
and those were your people, right?
And your sister? Here, yeah. No, I don't think so. I hope not. I don't think so. How am I doing? I've been better.
Being back here, does it, Are you still with us? Like, are you're not gonna stay after we? Do you belong here? Do you?
Maybe someday, but right now we're needed elsewhere. I'm not done with our story. Whatever that end is.
We're gonna help the gods, right?
Of course. FCG.
I don't want to force you to do that or anything.
No, I don't. I obviously, I think, yes, Predathis is bad. And, I want to...
Feels like you're trying to convince yourself of that.
Well, a little bit. A little bit. I finally feel like I'm feeling better about my abilities and what that means for me. And I feel like ending Predathis could potentially end me in a way, which is fine.
Wait, what?
It's worth that.
You won't be dead.
I don't know. I don't know if that means, people that got their life from a godly power, if that means they'll be ended as well. I don't know what it means. I do think that so many people depend on the gods, and it's the way we've been for such a long time that it makes sense to honor that.
I'm a little undecided. I'll just be straight up with you. I mean, history's always written by the victors, so we've only heard one side of things.
I'm kind of with Chetney.
Can we just take a quick straw poll?
Yeah.
Everyone in favor of the gods, raise their hand. Oh boy.
Well, let's keep going.
All those opposed, raise your hand. All those not sure?
Undecided?
Undecided.
Well, that's
Yeah, it's and that's the problem. It's I feel like we need to figure this
That's
out.
everybody.
What was your vote? You didn't really
He just
vote
kind of
for it.
drank.
Did you abstain from the vote?
I'm abstaining.
You really are a punk.
I just feel like you should talk about yourself some more, Ashton.
What does that mean?
You came from a cult.
You came from a cult?
Clearly.
You really?
I was evacuated from it when I was very, very young. I have almost no memory of the cult.
Evacuated or jettisoned?
There was a some sort of interesting dimensional anomaly is the best I've been able to put together. I'm trying to get some more information out of it. big thing exploded. I woke up in a fucking desert. I got sent to a fucking orphanage, and that's where I spent the rest of my life. It's been a couple decades since.
You're skipping over the juicy bits. See, we talked because when we were in Hearthdale. I think that's where we were.
Did you just throw it?
We were talking to the Elder Abedina, and we asked about. You showed them the helmet.
Yeah,
and,
the Ashari.
And it's the Ashari. Because they wanted, it was like this branch off group who was trying to mimic the Ashari.
Honestly, I'm here with this group because I heard the word Ashari and it piqued my interest. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I came from. And at the moment, we have more pressing issues.
You know who could help with that a lot? The gods. You know, they if you ask them for your favor, they might be able to guide you to where, you know, to the answers that you require. Like my God has given me a lot of answers so far. Maybe you could too.
Or, you know, nah.
I'm just saying, they can do a lot of stuff for people like us who were lost. Well, people like you who are lost. they can give you like a direction or answers or a focus. Or
I have direction. I'm getting answers, and I'm very focused.
I feel like we should redo the vote just in case anyone has changed their mind.
Okay.
All in favor of the gods. Hey, look at that.
Great.
Changing minds, FCG.
That's right. A few more to go.
I'm leaning more.
But
Predathus is bad.
I know, but if it kills you, I understand why you'd be hesitant.
Gluttonous is bad.
We all know that Gluttonous is a problem. We all agree that this is something that has to be taken care of.
He is bad. It's not a gray area.
No.
You think he orchestrated the assassination of the woman you just met yesterday?
He's bad.
He's bad.
You were going to say something, Fernie?
Why not?
I had lots of things, but I was worried about the Predathos thing with you, and I was wondering if Predatho dies, what's going to happen to you? But I guess...
Because if you get your power from the red moon, and the red moon dies or goes away or whatever, like, what does that do to you?
I think what we need is information. I think the data is essential that we do not have, so let's just keep our minds
Let's just keep looking for flowers.
As you're all carefully ducking between larger rocks and bits of stone that are jutting out of the ground and using thicker parts of the dead tree forest to try and stay low and hidden. Nothing yet seems to catch eye or ear of you. You do see, as you're on the higher ground looking down into the valley, occasionally these little faint glowing wisps that just kind of drift through the trees. You take a moment and focus, and you swear they look like people. And the more you focus in the distance, they look more like soldiers. Like the ghosts of long-dead warriors who died on a battlefield and are ever lost wandering the expanse of this space, occasionally drifting and vanishing within the mists. Occasionally you see another one dart through, then 3 of them run before vanishing into the air. Another scent of burning catches your collective noses. Like a distant forest fire. A bit of charcoal. Almost like the smell of burning meat. There definitively is one direction where the wind is continuously blowing in pulses, and when it comes from that direction, you kind of gauge it's further in the path, in the direction you've been traveling, but it continues at a slight southern arc. You come upon what looks to be a unique part of the topography, like a large piece of historically sundered ground, a site where a large hill was once cloven into 2 shallow cliffs. You can see it leaving a kind of a broken crevasse of earth and stone that kind of worms its way through at this kind of almost like a large half-circle-like perspective. You can see the barren telltale trees, the valley surrounding all through it. It looks like it holds importance, and you can see signs of more recent construction dotting one of the edges of the chasm, like there is a structure built within it.
I mean, we should check it out, right?
100%.
That's 100% cursed magic that made that
giant cleft in the hill.
That's not the part that's bothering me. It's the structure.
Structure.
You get about halfway through the distance to the cleft of this hill. There is a moment where you emerge from one area of very thick trees to a bit of a clearing, and you kind of immediately curve over into the sides of it. Around that time, it would be Orem and Chetney that pick up the first sound. The crack into the area above you. One of the tall trees just splinters at about 15 feet down from the top. And for a brief moment, you see this shape start down after impacting it and begin to curl up, wings. You hear behind where it came from another, and you see a secondary winged being that's now darting down. You can see, at a brief glance, these long, spindly-looking bodies of like a dark grayish-purple coloration. You see these long claws kind of dangling at the end, and these white feathered wings that seem to not match the rest of their body.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to, and I just tear off my head. And there's a wolf there, but little Chet still hanging out. And I'm saving the rest of it as I run under a tree to get some cover.
I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians around myself.
Good call.
Okay. What form do the Guardians take?
Well, these are demon birds that are swooping down.
Seems to be.
What do birds not like?
Windshields.
They're sheets of glass.
The secondary one backs up. This screeching dive towards you is the first to show any sort of sign of immediate aggression.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
And as this one dives in quickly, you can see it has almost human-like long arms with fingers at the end with like bits of tattered feathers. They almost didn't emerge properly. Like parts of the wax and bone are kind of poking through, and the feathers kind of off to the side.
16 radiant.
16 radiant damage. As the flashing of spectral glass gets in the way, it smashes through one of the windshields and just spins out, hits the ground, tumbles a bit before picking up again, smashing through a few of the branches and getting a bit airborne from that point.
I'm going to use a catapult. I'm going to pick up a rock from the ground and chuck it at one of the bird that's flying.
Okay, the one that
FCG just hit, yeah.
you got it.
22 points of bludgeoning.
22 points, dang. Another burst of feathers. You see it kind of spiral down again as it loses about 10 feet of height and is now starting to pick itself back up, while the other secondary one is spinning around, now attempting to swoop in for a strike. As you're the one that just unleashed the recent strike, it's going to attempt to dive bomb you.
I want to bait and switch. Leap up, grab her by the shoulder, and get the shield up in front of the thing.
It looks like it's diving straight towards you, and then scoots up, and as soon as it gets right over you, it hovers and because of this horrible screeching yell. Both of you managed to cover your ears in time, but you, Imogen, unfortunately, as it pierces the inside of your mind, it seems to almost like push past your psychic boundaries, and you crumble to your knees, stunned.
I'm gonna run, jump up, and literally just let the momentum do a full flip right into the fucker's head.
Go for it. Make the strike.
It's 23 points of damage. It gets pushed 25 feet directly away from where I just charged it.
All right, so as you full engulf swing, or over the head swing it, you slam it, and it gets pushed directly away, kind of skidding on the ground a little beyond where Imogen was, kind of tumbling, its wings out as it's trying to get it back onto its feet, and you can now see like the long, spindly body and its weird kind of human-like haunches that end in these talon-like claws. It's like
I'm gonna extend my wolf claws out through my Chetney hands, wearing my wolf mask, and you'll see. I'm gonna scratch my forearms. You'll see flames come up, and before I take off running, I'm gonna swipe at one of the trees that are all dead and stuff, just to see if I can get it to catch.
Yeah. Flame begins to curl up the side of this tree as you dart away.
You big bitch, come get me! And I'm actually gonna try and grapple this thing. I'm gonna try and shove my claws inside of its body.
You definitely like full on tackle and hold this thing in. You are currently grappling around its body and holding the side of one of the nearby trees right now as it's like trying to right itself again, but it can't get its feet and hands up in the air, and it's
What are you?
The other one that was hurt now turns around and is able to regain itself and is going to go ahead and swoop down to you, since you're the one who's pinning the other one. You take 11 points of slashing damage from the talons, reduced to 5, because you're in your wolfen form. And it's just like trying to harry you from above.
Then I'm just going to hit 2 Eldritch Blasts at the one that's flying. 33 total.
The one
damage.
up top. Both impact, and you watch as a spray of dark, now blackened feathers from the impact, the Eldritch Blast go spreading out and hitting the nearby trees with a splatter of black viscera. You watch as the creature's 2 halves kind of hit the ground before they both kind of burn into a black ash.
This might hurt a little bit.
Promise.
I'm gonna cast Burning Hands.
As Chetney kind of uses this creature like a shield, kind of pulling it in front as you grapple to it, the flames engulf you both, you kind of resisting the majority of it. So it would have been 19 points of fire damage. Instead, you just take 9.
Yes.
The creature, however, is extremely singed, and you can see now the feathers are burned away, the wings are thin and singed. It's like trying to pull free, and it's growling as it's trying to grasp air to make its screeching noise.
I want to reach forward and strangle it around the neck and cast Shocking Grasp.
How do you want to do this?
Ooh, I want to strangle it until its neck starts to singe, and I'm just going to keep squeezing.
You feel its body actually begin to crumble away into ash under your grasp, both of your grasps. And as it begins to kind of go limp within your hands, it falls into this small, smoldering pile before it dissipates in with the rest of the surrounding dying forest floor. You do hear another screech in the distance, like a screech that heard and is responding. And you get the sense that this spot will likely be swarmed or descended upon.
Plus, there's a tree on fire, so if we book it, we could get off the X.
You all begin to bolt as a group through the forest, rushing as best you can, your feet crashing into the dried leaves and underbrush. And after a few moments, you begin to slow your pace, feeling like there is an immediate hurry. Still glancing over in that direction, you can hear the squeak, the squawking sounds, and see them kind of circling over that portion where a little bit of a plume of smoke is starting to build up off of the burning tree. And you see now you're about maybe a quarter mile away from this cloven hillscape.
What the new structure that's being built in the dented hillscape, the cloven hillscape? What is the shape of the structure
You're a little bit closer now.
built?
As you look over, it looks like a small fort of a surprisingly beautiful build, crafted from light stone and copper-colored edges. It looks less like it's being built and more like it's sustained some damage.
Is there any trail of smoke coming up from this structure, like something that's actively burning?
You see a couple of small plumes that emerge from within the base portions of it. Not long ago, on this site, a structure was built called the Iridan Bastion. It was an extension of a Platinum Dragon temple that was built in the center of this space to play sentinel over the abyssal powers that suffuse the Grey Valley. More or less, it was designated as an early warning system for any sort of abyssal incursions. It was intended to be for the mindset of those who were beneath the Platinum Dragon, not the best place your piety could assign you, but nevertheless an important site for being mindful of a region such as this. So seeing it actively in disrepair is a little concerning. You, glancing past this and tapping into the Hemocraft magic that you've been expanding through experience, your vision kind of goes from the kind of ashen whites and grays, the kind of colorless hues of this landscape, to a filter of deep blood crimson, like you're witnessing this through a red stained glass window. And there upon this side, you can see the structure where it once fully stood, not long ago. You see signs of people walking along the walls. You see perimeters being walked. You hear screams echoing, shouts, bursts of flame and dark energy. You watch as one of the towers crumbles and falls in, caught in a half-toppled state against one of the other larger platforms. One by one, the screams are snuffed. Not more than a few days ago.
This is new. Like days old. There were people here. Some kind of battle, contest.
Is it just one entrance, or does it look like there's like some way to sneak in that's not just the front door?
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's the entrance of the valley where it kind of like comes into the center of where this split hill is. You assume there's another side to it somewhere that you don't see.
Going
But
up
probably-
the crevasse with
It's also fucked up
point
enough.
of
I'm
view.
sure there's lots of points of entry at this
Yeah,
point.
with it being so fucked up, yeah.
If somebody can drop in, it might be smart for one or two people to go up high. so
SWAT
they can
team
see
style?
in. Yeah.
Rappel down, smashing through the window.
We'll go with the climbing crew first, heading up to the top of the crevasse. Glancing down at the site, it definitely looks like the aftermath of some terrible battle. There are blood smears spread across parts of exposed stone. You can see torn limbs strewn about at places, kind of left across the region. Remnants of the guardians of this bastion used them as decoration, placed on pikes and jabbed onto jagged rocks as trophies or signs. There are a number of dark figures that kind of wander around this makeshift, what I can only describe as a demon encampment.
I'm going to get into Pate's head and just say, "Oh, Pate, let them know it doesn't look good. We see lots of dead bodies and dancing imps."
You do also see tall demon warriors, about 3 of them with massive two-handed swords and blades kind of sheathed on their back wings. Some are just kind of keeping watch and looking around. You can see one is currently pulling and dragging materials over to a section. You see there are some metal cages set here. 3 that you can make out, set on 2 different of the structure's roofs and one kind of in the center of the rubble. And you can gather they hold humanoid captives currently. You can see there is what looks to be a piece of like kind of broken stone, like a platform in the center of the space where a large kind of glowing circle about 15 feet across has infernal-looking runes in it that kind of pulse and glow.
And the courtyard is how big across? Can we get a general idea?
I can
of how...
just show you the layout. Since you have successfully stealthed your way into the outskirts of this, so you have the opportunity to look at and plan.
Get out of here.
Whoa.
Yes. Oh God. And where are we in relation to this?
You are up on the other side of a cliff up here. The ground crew would be over coming in from this side of the valley if you were to enter. You see another shadow approach. Small wings comparatively, but this corpulent humanoid figure seems to almost lurch and glide with an awkward movement until it hits the center of this space. You see about 13 or so feet tall, this like dark furred humanoid demon creature with massive long clawed arms. These little kind of furry wings that set upon its back. Its jaw is wide like a mimic of a horrible ape-like grimace with massive tusks and teeth that pour out of the center of its like long distended wide jaw. And as it kind of looks around, it starts barking orders, and you watch as it draws this blade, this beautiful silver-looking weapon with a crossguard that looks too small for its grasp. Like some
Stole it.
And it kind of just like as it points and barks orders around, the other demons seem to like look towards it and nod.
I'll cast tongues on myself just so I can hear what they're saying.
You hear the large one bark a couple of things in abyssal out to others. Phrases you make out are, "Hurry. I must feast soon.
Oh no!
Oh God.
Prepare, then celebrate."
Pate, they're gonna eat somebody real soon. They just said that, so we gotta move, like now, in the next 30 seconds.
This other demon entity that's walking along, kind of one of the sentries, that's kind of peeks into the side. You watch a hand grab and pull it into the shadow, and silently you see a flash of flame inside, and you see for a second as it tries to leap out, it gets pulled back in.
What?
and isn't there anymore. A moment passes, and you see a figure begin to emerge from that dark bit of shadow kind of hiding along the rock. You see a humanoid, not larger than any of the largest of your crew. But you see this kind of deep red skin. You see a mane of kind of like gray, almost like a lion-like mane of hair that meets with a beard, and these handlebar-like horns that curve to the front. A cloak of dark black and tattered velvet, and what looks like folded, leathery wings on its back as it kind of leans against the rock and peers over in the direction of the fortress.
Grab
I'll
Pate.
tell Pate. Yeah, tell Pate what.
Hey. We just saw. Look at me.
What's going on? What's it?
No, you can't look at me. You don't have any eyeballs yet. Okay.
No, I'm in your direction now.
Okay. Tell Lotna and everybody else that there is something that's kind of helping us that kind of looks like a demon also.
Good demon?
A good demon? A good demon.
We're just gonna make a distraction, blow something up, or break something, or set something off.
And Lottie,
Act like a damsel.
you're gliding us, you're flying
Damsel
us.
distress.
We're gonna jump and then we
Shake
gotta,
your tail,
gotta
feathers.
cast Featherfall.
I'll act like I'm attacking you.
All together.
That's all I got.
So you shout help. All the entities, all at once, like,
I'm doubling my distance with a sorcery point,
Okay.
and I'm gonna hit the top tower, avoiding the cage with a synaptic static.
both of their heads just splatter. And the bodies shrink and then sift into
circle.
black ash-like sludge. The one here, like, begins to like scratch at its eyes for a second before falling to one knee and blinks out about, looking confused and looking for whatever struck it. While the rest of them, the below, the larger central leader, you hear is saying, "Go, whoever that is, bring it back." This one leaps over into kind of the center space here and begins to glance over in the direction, kind of like angrily curious. As it lands, you watch its like central form, this massive belly that it holds, and its fur itself kind of like shakes a bit, and you see its legs kind of have to set its hooves to kind of hold itself in place. It seems more comfortable in the air than the ground.
As we run and we're about to bolt up the cliff, I'm going to do my transformation of dread, and for a second I'm going to get on all fours, almost like my hound.
As you prepare, Orem backs up like 15 feet and gets into a little sprinter's position, aimed at the edge. And I wait for your go.
Go.
Okay, then he just starts sprinting. and I'm going to do a long jump.
Featherfall. But I wanted to make sure he gets his full arc before casting it.
So that it like falls at that arc.
Yeah,
understand.
100%.
Okay, you all leap in the air, and as many of your peaks kind of end prematurely, but then the spell catches and you begin to glide. Still at a rapid pace, to the point where it's a little nerve-wracking how fast it's coming at you, but not enough to the point where you're going to break an ankle if you land. Ashton, you gliding down just out of range.
And I'm
of
gonna
the
click
edge.
I'm gonna click that little thing on my hammer right there.
The rest of you watch as Ashton glides down, misses the lip, and then just stops in the middle of the air. The hammer itself kind of just held in place.
Put the immovable rod in your
Into the
hammer.
Fuck yes.
That's sick.
Awesome. I will shout "Rah!" at them, which, as we all know, in Abyssal, or whatever language we're speaking, is the command mime.
Mine.
Both of them like flying forward. They both land. Look at each other. And one of them goes,
They're stuck in a box.
the other one goes,
It's windy. Yes. It's real windy. Yes.
Oh, that's solid. Oh no.
I'll go to the alcove.
Yeah.
We have a
I'll stay-
well-oiled
I'll stay.
machine and an erector.
You go with Fern.
I'll go with Fern.
the two of you go rushing up to the alcove. It's not a challenging incline, but it's definitely going to slow you down a little bit. You both start climbing up, slipping as some stones kind of fall from underneath your weight. You get about halfway up the alcove. You continue to climb up the wall, look past, just as both these creatures, one of them that's now in the process of like doing some good scene work of washing dishes, stops. The other one kind of looks at it again, and they both glare back at you.
Oh, is that 6 seconds over?
Yeah,
I
it's
can
that
attack.
fast.
Yeah.
We're at the top of the round. Orem, you're up first.
Oh, man.
This number.
All right, I'm going to start running, pitter-patting along the wall, and I'm going to be making a leap for green guy down below, but as I go, what do I see in the cage?
In the cage, you see two figures. One looks to be a female soldier of some kind. Most of her armor gone. She's wearing like the underneath gambit of the armor. To the right of them, you see what looks to be a small gnome figure, themselves kind of bruised and beaten, also chained, who is wearing what looks to be tattered Tempest Blade garb and armor.
Okay. Then I'm going to make eye contact with them but not say anything, get a running jump, and then land here, and I am going to flip in the air and land and stab this thing in the back.
Both blade strikes carve into the back, and it kind of like takes a step forward.
I'm actually going to roll through his legs so that I'm in his eyesight and just sup.
How can I get this gate open?
As you're
This
kind of
cage?
looking at the front of it, you can see there is a door opening to it. These cages are not fiendish in nature. They were probably built for the Bastion and then have just been kind of co-opted once it's been occupied. So there is a locking mechanism on it. It looked like a big iron lock that is clasped.
I'm gonna try and pick the lock.
The two figures are kind of looking at you, spooked. They look terrified. As you approach in your full form of dread, as you just kind of like clamber down the side of the cage and up to the edge of it, they're both.
I
got it.
I'm gonna eat your guts.
You get down quickly, picking the lock, and you catch some of the tumblers, but like there's the last one you can't quite get, and you realize you just don't have space for your long bony finger. And you kind of, and then tink.
Awesome.
It unlocks and they pull the latch off.
Am I getting close to the alcove?
You do. You get up to the alcove right there, and as you kind of glance inside, the figure that you saw earlier, it was not at the edge of the cave. It's not visible, and you just see these eyes appear in the darkness that glow, and a voice goes, "Who are you?"
I am a friendly. I am not with these people that are down here, and I do have another friend with me, but we're friendlies.
Make a persuasion check.
30.
The entity steps forward a little bit into the light and says, "We are no friends, but for now we are not enemies." And you hear the scraping sound as he drags his blade across the stone behind and kind of puts his hand out to push past your shoulder.
I bonded to Chetney, so I'm going to give him a bonded blessing. Is that what it's called? Yeah, bonded blessing. So you get a D6 on any roll this round.
Cool.
Thank you.
I get a little stress for that, but it's okay. I'll take it. Then I will start sort of rolling around counterclockwise if I can get over there. Yeah-ish. And as I roll, I will cast not Toll the Dead, but Scramble the Dead.
It looks like it definitely hit it for a hurt. And now it looks directly towards you.
Hold my hands out and as I do, rocks around me from the rubble and the ruins start to rise up. And it's gonna rise up and start circling around my head. And I'm gonna cast Minute Meteors.
Oh, nice. Okay.
What? And I'm going to shoot one at the one that Orm's fighting.
It singes the back of it. It kind of like shrugs it off a little bit, but still takes the hit. Fire.
Fire.
Fire bad.
I'm gonna send a second one at his back.
You're almost like forcing him to dance like you're shooting at the ground. It's the winged entity over here that walks past Fern kind of glances over and sees the one that's looking over towards FCG, drags out its blade, and you can see it's this massive, like, curved-looking saber that has these like barbed hooks in the front and this blackened metal glance about it. As he pulls it out, you watch as it kind of glows with a strangely bright light that kind of hovers along the blade edge as the wings expand, and it goes into a dart, full-on flight.
Whoa!
Down to that creature and arcs upward with its blade.
What?
Attempt to strike it.
So high.
27 points of damage total from that strike.
27 on one strike.
Pate is with Chetney. So.
And the other strike, 33 points of damage.
On the second one?
Yeah.
Wait, how much?
That's 60 points of damage and 2
current ally.
slashes. Yeah, from that
Whoa, I'm
sword.
glad he's not.
Should we just leave?
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, he's going to go ahead and expend a second level slot to Divine Smite that.
Double pally.
As it strikes across the second blow of its blade around to the center, it actually carves through half of its wing, and where it cuts through, the light seems to leave and kind of linger for a second in the wound before it fades and flames burst out of it for a second. The creature turns around and looks at it, like and
Still
wiping some of the
standing?
dark blood from its mouth. It looks hurt.
I will use my bonus action to cast Blood Curse of Bloated Agony, and I will run up and take 2 swipes with
All right, you rush up. Take your
Turmoil.
first. Go for it. First strike with Turmoil. The scythe carves through its upper torso. As it splits open, black demonic blood sprays out and seems to just dissipate into black smoke in the air before it impacts much around. And as it crumbles into ash and falls to the ground, spilling.
Nice.
Oh,
1 down.
Nice. Nice.
I'm gonna rage and I'm gonna head down and get right behind that winged motherfucker.
All right.
So that we are both on either side, and I'm just gonna take my first swipe with my sparkly rainbow fucking hammer.
Yeah.
Right at that cut that happened on the back. I'm just gonna try and open that up.
All of you feel in your mind a voice go,
Welcome. Glad you could join the feast.
What?
its outline of its body shimmers and it vanishes.
I'm fucking just.
Oh no.
Just the two figures that are in the cage kind of like give a short screech and like crouch down as the cage itself like bows and creaks, the metal like bending under the weight of this entity as it on top.
He's a big boy.
The front door to the standing structure kicks open and the stonework kind of presses a bit as another one of these figures looks around.
Oh, he was just in there taking a shit.
Doesn't see anything, but here's the commotion over there.
Okay, I'm gonna continue to just slash
This is such a good one.
at the. I'm gonna keep working with Ashton, rolling at advantage.
Yeah, he's still taking the hits. He's starting to look a little rough.
I'm gonna run under the green guy's legs, use my movement, and spring up. And I'm gonna land next to Imogen with my back pressed to hers, and I'm going to spin us around and put her to the side and hold my shield up in front of her, and she is going to get an additional bait and switch. Your AC is gonna go up to add an 8.
Whoa.
To the, but as long as we're back to back. So if you get out of here,
Okay.
I'm going to quicken a spell and cast mirror image on myself.
The timing is
Okay.
well.
I'm gonna go in the cage.
Okay. Okay.
I open the gate. You're free.
As you step in, they all go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a ray of frost on their metal.
To which one of
things.
them? There's the taller female soldier and there's the small gnomish Ashari soldier.
Which one looks like it has more hit points?
Roll the dice. I mean, the bigger one's bigger.
I'll do the soldier.
Okay.
Trust me.
They take 5 damage just from the contact of the freezing energy.
Okay.
Looking at you, they're going to attempt to break the chains off their wrists and so they have their wrists free.
Hey!
I'm gonna shoot out Scorching Ray.
All 3 rays bursting, the first one and the one that's closest to you by FCG, and the other 2 slamming into the one that's by Chetney. Each of them impact, and they just kind of like shrug it off a little bit. You can see there's black char marks where it hits, and a bit of the skin is kind of crackled. So they take damage, but not as much as you would like.
I know. Okay. I would like to try to kind of start to make my way this way.
Making you in?
Yeah. But, steering clear of the dude.
I will cast command on the
Okay.
guy in front of me, just first level this time.
Alrighty.
Betray.
Blades out towards
He's
you.
gonna betray me, isn't he?
Goes and glances back at the big man who is making the orders.
With him maybe not going to attack me. I'm going to go motor past him, past Fern, and go as far as I can towards the others.
As you move past, the blade was ready to strike you as you left the combat raid. He betrays his commander by letting you walk.
Oh, nice.
But the command ends.
Oh.
Got it. And then as a bonus action, I will also give one of those nice D6s to Fern to use in the future.
I'm so scared of this guy.
He's scurry.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you doing?
And I'm gonna lightning bolt him straight through the face.
Okay. The lightning bolt blasts through, and he seems like take the hit. Kind of brushes away. There's a burn mark where the energy struck through him, but as he kind of wipes his hand, it kind of casts off. He takes some damage, but not as much as you're used to dealing with.
Fuck!
I will take 2 more strikes with the scythe.
He's looking hurt, looking real hurt between the two of you, striking back and forth.
Oh, he's looking real hurt.
Yeah, and I'll do on the for the bonus action. I will just renew Blood Curse of Agony on it.
I'm noticing I'm alone, so I'm just gonna take another swipe at this fuck.
The second hit of the hammer just knocks him
Nice.
off the side, and then like ends up being impaled. Before he just like crumbles into black ooze that burns into ash. The central leader of this on top, who's kind of squatting on the cage,
Thaddeus.
is kind of grinning at this point and is going to just unleash on you. First, it bites down because you're right there, and for 32 points of piercing damage.
Oh!
Into you and kind of lifts you up in its jaws, kind of like Audrey 2. You see just Imogen's legs kicking from inside as it takes both of its claws and digs them into her back in its attempt to tear her open from the back outside.
Might succeed.
No.
14 points of slashing damage,
You're going down.
and the second one is going to be
Close here. It's close.
13 points of slashing damage.
See, you're fine.
Oh my god!
I don't like that at all.
Oh my god!
Healer!
I'm not. I'm trying to get over there.
Heal my girlfriend!
Fucking what? What was it?
This is Marisha!
There's a. What? Did you hear that, guys?
So Laudna, all you see is this creature loom down a shadow, and then Imogen is gone. You hear muffled screams and just a spatter of blood across the top of the tower before she slumps down into the ground, pulling herself free from its grasp.
You will definitely hear Lana go, no!
The one that's over there is going to go ahead and make a strike at both of you. One against you, Chetney. Natural 1. There's the balance. And against the fiend friend over there, that will actually hit with a 19.
Oh no.
That is a double attack though, so it does take
1d8.
1d8.
Thank you. 4 points.
4 points. The curse with inside swells, and he just detonates outward, spending innards out into the ground before it crumples to the ground like a burst water balloon in slow motion.
My part.
The fiend ally at the moment kind of flying overhead looks down at you.
Well done. Now, the big one.
Do not give me your...
Here's a request.
What's his name?
Orm just under his breath says, fuck this, and he's gonna leap up and cling onto the side of this thing's leg, and I'm gonna start hacking at its sword arm, and I'm gonna cut that blade out of its fucking hand.
Cool.
Okay.
It's like a disarm thing?
It's a disarm thing. Natural 20.
It pulls its arm away with the blade and looks like it's getting ready to strike. As it breaks its arm down towards you, you put the blade up and end up cutting through two of its fingers. And as you do, it pulls its hand back in pain. The fingers kind of arc off and burst into flame and dust while the blade slips out of its grasp.
Where's it going? Oh!
It sticks into the rock down there.
We're gonna have an Aladdin moment. Do you trust me?
Yeah.
All right. And run, and we're gonna jump off the edge.
Oh, no, you don't. You hear in your mind. And as you push Imogen off to the side, you feel the shadow loom over it, its mouth slowly behind you. You have
Shield.
you have mirror image. Oh, you shield?
Oh, and I have mirror image. I have mirror
up to you.
image.
Well,
It's still up, right?
Yeah, I haven't used it yet.
I don't have it.
Yeah, it's a 19, so it hits the
19.
mirror image.
it bites down on a version of Laudna that isn't there, and as it shimmies and vanishes out of existence, you are just a foot in front of it as the jaws snap around nothing.
Dope shot.
You're casting Feather Fall as a reaction. You both gently land off the battlefield this way.
All right, so I see the guy up top above me, and I'm going to cast Blight.
The area around its face, this kind of like muscular and plump-looking demon suddenly like shrivels inward. You watch as his features get gaunt and the flesh seems to go black and veiny around areas. It coughs for a second, taking a pretty heavy hit. Finishing your turn.
He does get one attack of opportunity instead of multiple.
What was that?
Oh, really?
A familiar screech kind of echoes through the sky as winged entities that you had previously seen
The
floating
living
above.
fuck.
Rocks.
This one stops in berserk.
Rocks.
This
Let's
one
rock.
swoops down to you and is attempting to grab you with its talons. You kick it off, kind of freaks out now and kind of swoops over on this side and is now just above, kind of parrying you with its wings. This one that moved here is going to go ahead and swoop down
Oh God.
with the other action and just kind of like block that path there.
So I'll shoot a sacred flame up at the demon above me. 4 points of radiant damage.
Like kind of like snorts it out of one nose.
It's not rocket.
And I gotta keep moving. I'm gonna just keep moving. I'm gonna take the opportunity attack. I'm gonna keep moving.
18 points of slashing damage to you. And
Wowzers.
you get the distance because a little bit of movement is added from you being swiped in the back with a blade, and it gives you a slight boost at the cost of a heavy bit of pain that's now struck through your system.
I'm gonna put both hands on the side of my head and stare at him, and I'm gonna shoot out a psychic lance.
There you are.
I'll move back as far as I can towards the building so that he...
Get you back to where Laudna is, right there.
I feel like I'm just putting you in danger by stepping right next to you.
I just don't want anything to happen to you.
Well, we're both fucked. Let's be real.
Let's finish what we started.
It's now going to attempt to claw strike you, and then the bite strike against you.
I am unconscious.
It is currently chewing the no longer moving body of Imogen within its jaw.
Oh, you gotta get her out of the jaw.
I'm the fucking rage.
And as it's doing so, its eyes kind of like connect to you.
To me, I just like my form of dread expands even further as I just look at it with intense anger. Let's go, bitch.
Okay, Orem hops to this side of the tower, looks down, sees what he sees. Fuck. And he leaps.
Come on!
So you take 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Yikes.
From the impact of against the creature as you're coming down with your
I'm
blade.
hoping that's a stab,
Yeah.
and then I yank it back out, and then I shove it into whatever this thing's ear hole is.
Carving through it. You're starting to see like it's seeping its dark abyssal blood in places. It's showing some heavy wear, and it's like trying to reach over the back towards you.
I was gonna try and drag Imogen's body away, but Orem is there.
Stop, y'all.
Can I just like, with my form of dread, like tower over top of her and shield her with my body as much as I can?
If you want to.
With my body.
I'm going to wild shape into my big bird, my shoe bill.
What's the fly speed?
80.
Yes.
80. 30, and you're trying to fly where?
I'm trying to
Grab
pick
FCG.
pick up FCG.
By the hair.
So 30, action to grab and pick up. 80 is about here.
Okay. Does that feel good?
That's great. I think I'm within 60 feet of Imogen.
I believe you
Imogen.
might be. Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay.
It's tight, but yes.
May your unending belief in the Changebringer heal you. And I'll cast Healing Word.
Okay.
She rolls her eyes in unconsciousness.
Begrudgingly
I'm gonna
heals.
waste a first level Healing Word on you.
Thanks.
Sure. You get 4 points.
Coming to, your whole body aches in terrifying pain, but you're back in yourself. And you look off to the side, your face like pulled up from the stonework, and the creature is looming right above you.
I'm gonna reach over as I'm on the ground and grab a hold of the creature's foot and try to cast Shocking Grasp on him as well. 12
Points of...
lightning damage.
Okay.
Can't take reactions till the start of his next turn. Finally, fucking.
That's all
So
I've been trying.
he gets to hit.
I'm gonna quicken a spell,
Okay.
and I am gonna cast invisibility on me and Laudna.
I'm going to try and run through. Will it cost an action or a bonus action to just pick up the sword as I run through the portal?
I'll say you can pick it up pretty quick, so you can do this part of your...
Yeah, I'll snatch it up as I'm running by. I'm going to wind up the scythe, and I'm going to cast Shatter through that little line, just almost like a lacrosse stick. And it's loud and hopefully gets his attention turning this way. I'll keep coming towards the cage.
Okay.
And can I see who's inside of this one? Or which side the door is on, I guess would be a good...
The door's on this side.
Okay. Yeah,
You
can I run up to the door?
Go up to the door, yeah, and it is like latched like the others, and you see there are two figures in there. One is a half-elven girl with like blonde hair, like in a pixie cut that's like dirty. You can see her like arm bound in chains, and she kind of is glancing over with like a tense jaw as you approach, kind of pulls away, still kind of dubiously looking towards you, and there's a soldier who is on the ground, like leaning on one leg, looks like they're heavily injured, who is kind of just like squinting and looking up in the direction of you as you approach, and looks a bit
Let's be
spooked.
honest, I'm not the worst thing you've seen today. I'm gonna get you out.
And that'll be the end of my turn, because
Okay.
I can't do anything else.
At the end of your turn, a voice seems to push into the back of your mind. Rise in glory. Take what you've taken together. We will do great things.
Not another one.
I'm gonna head over to the edge of that fucking wall, take a look down. Fuck, and I'm taking the jump, and I'm gonna try and like land and
my
clip that
God.
motherfucker right in the head.
Top row.
26 points of bludgeoning damage, but you are raging, so it's halved to 13.
13 points? Pfft, why was I even worried?
But you, like, leap off the top, hammer in the air. Terrifying. The creature kind of glances up. I know your tricks, and steps back with its arm as you hit the ground, leaving a secondary crater right where the one had left, like cracking the ground even further. Stones fly and then tumble to the ground around you. Kind of sumo lands its other foot.
Hi. I'm gonna take my second shot.
Go for it.
Come on.
19 points of damage and then 8 points of fire damage. I'm gonna take your tusk and turn it into a fucking tankard.
All right, just left initiative.
Yep.
It's gonna look at you.
No, don't let it go.
And Grin is gonna go ahead and watch its outer form.
No,
begins to shimmer.
no.
It's going to teleport over to here.
Damn.
And you see its wings kind of starting to flap, and it's definitely like making an escape.
Making an escape.
Nice.
So I'd like to fly towards the big boy.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely get there, and then drop.
Yes.
Get him, burn.
And then I'd like to cast. I'm gonna cast Blight again at 5th level.
How do you want to do that?
Okay, it's necromantic energy. It's just going to, like whoosh all over him. Just like a beautiful, like glitter and just fluff. And then it's just gonna cause a lot of pain. It's gonna
It kinda
hurt
like-
real
It
bad.
starts flying up a little bit, kind of looks at the weird, like, glittery energy around it, looks back at you. And it's about to take off into flight as its wings suddenly get pulled back and it falls to the ground. And you watch as these, like, black vines reach it from the ground. I mean, wrapping around it like it's tethering it to the floor. As it kind of like gets pulled down, you fear in your mind.
I'll find you. I'll kill you. I'll eat you and wear you.
And right at that time, the vines are digging into its body, and you see it like digging under its skin and its flesh, and it's tearing through in places before its eyes go to like a pale, sickly white, and then suddenly the vines just tear it apart from the inside out. Slivers of it splash onto the ground and then burn away into smoke and ash, leaving just like chunks of Tuscan bone in the ground behind. The rest of the rocks definitely take off, and the intensity of the current threat seems to, in the moment, be quelled. The winged fiend figure was about to dash in the direction and sees the entity fall apart, relaxes and lands back on its feet, the wings coming to rest upon its back.
You. Who are you?
Kind of looks around to kind of make him kind of take in the current scene.
It seems there is no immediate danger.
I'm gonna take a moment to start cracking all of the rocks that have the sigils on them. I'm just walking around powdering that shit.
With every heavy impact, they crack and sunder, and whatever kind of lingering fiendish energy was currently bound to some of these ritualistic circles, it fades and dissipates. Within these cages, there are a number of figures. You see 2 members of the Tempest Blades. Janice, who you have seen before, though it's been a bit. Arana, who is kind of a person you've seen around but not had a lot of interaction with. And indeed, Baernie, who is in the process of kind of tending to what looks to be a dislocated shoulder, but is still remaining stoic in the face of recent events. As soon as Baernie looks over and sees you, kind of runs up and gives just a massive grasping hug and picks you up, and then like just still holds onto you with the other arm and kind of sets you back down, but just holds you.
Take it slow.
Like you can feel like there's like a heaping sob into your shoulder, and then the control takes over and she pulls away and looks at you. You can see like just the dirt smears on her face and those kind of vibrant brown eyes that look back at you. And there's a combination of like fear and trauma that is now fading into a warmth and a thank you, of reunion.
Catch your breath. Let us just take stock of this.
The horned figure.
Him.
This guy.
Yeah, you
Who has
know.
walked towards you, approaches.
Tomas.
I'm Teven Klask.
Von Kloss?
What are you called?
Me, or like us as a group. I'm Fern. And all of us were the Bell's Hells. Pleased to meet you.
Bell's Hells.
Hells, we got something in common.
What are you doing here? And why were you fighting against them?
I am one of the many champions of my patron. Some who watch his domain, and others, like me, that act as his agent through many realms. To some, I am known as the retribution of the Hells. A disruptor, an assassin, a scout. Me? I just do what is necessary. To whom do you owe fealty?
That all was so hot. What did you just ask me? I just really
To whom do you owe fealty?
myself.
I need to Asmodeus.
Asmodeus, the Lord of Angers.
That makes sense.
Oh, fuck.
Devils versus demons.
Okay.
While I know not the details, something brews in Exandria that has left my lord shaken. And me with the unique orders to, unless hostility greets me, treat with those who walk under the light of the primes, or outside of it. So you are lucky today we meet on common ground. The future I do not know if it holds quite such grace.
So you're looking to help the gods?
I am looking to help my god. And in some ways, all of the gods in this moment remember they are brethren.
Yeah, I've met, oh God, what was her name? The Raven woman, the matron of ravens. Oh, you don't like her. Yeah, I mean, I was neither here nor there, but...
This armistice has historical precedent. Do not feel nervous. Enjoy it while it lasts, lest you seek new interests in your future. There are many gifts that can be granted on certain paths.
Do you want to follow Asmodeus?
What does that entail?
Oh boy.
Like, if I were to follow
Please tell me I know what the
Asmodeus, like
He
what?
leans in a bit closer. An eternity of purpose, strength, and pleasures for those who fall under his shadow.
Wait, I heard pleasures and then I didn't hear the rest because I just got really distracted. I'm so sorry.
Takes your hand
Oh boy.
without breaking eye contact and gives it a kiss. Your knuckle burns, and on your center knuckle, there is what looks like a burn symbol of almost like a tattoo of a black horned crown.
I don't know if I wanted that to stay there. What is this?
We are allies today. Perhaps in the future, we will be allies again. The path is open. All you need to do is ask for his aid. Do you accept these terms?
I really like what your god's about, like the pleasure thing. And I've really been trying to put like self-care before, like caring about myself, pleasure, make it all about me. Let's do it. I'm in. I'll take his hand.
This pact is sealed. And he closes his hand around yours with the other, like, elongated clawed fingers. He looks at you with a smile. We will meet again.
Promise?
Unbindingly. Releases your hand. Looks back and grasps the side of his blade, which is kind of like sheathed in the side now, and turns back to the rest of you. Your leader is wise. You stand where you stand, not cut down. Because of her wisdom.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
He lifts up into the air, the wings kind of spread out, the blade at the side, just looking down upon all of you, his kind of shadow cast down in the space where you stand, kind of glancing up.
The sky goes red to the south.
Looks over to you.
I think our destinies are entwined.
Kind of looks up and whispers something under his breath, and you watch as fire ignites him and he is gone. Like a paper burned in a fireplace.
I have so many questions. I'm honestly kind of confused as to what just happened, but I'm here for it.
Well, hold up. And Orm turns to Baernie. What did happen?
I volunteered and helmed the expedition to come here to collect the means of helping the voice recover. We knew the dangers that were inherent, but we knew at least this bastion would be a point of safety. We did not know that it had fallen. Some of us fled, some of us were captured. I know not where the others wound up. Some others were slain, but we were saved for something else. A celebratory feast when they brought through the rest of their group. He referred to himself as Extovass the Gluttonous.
Extovass.
That's what the big guy was?
Seemed himself to kneel to a prince of some kind. used the name Vrudaluyan. We were working on some way of trying to escape with a few unfortunate failures, and we're running low on options, so we're very thankful that you came when you did. We're uncertain if the feast and what we were to be... Kind of looks back towards the broken stone sigils that you had broken and says, if we were the key or just part of the merriment. But regardless, we're safe now. And I believe... And she kind of looks over and you can see Janice has found in one of the piles of collected materials that were kind of just left in these large piles, 2 backpacks that look kind of torn and tethered.
Yes.
And kind of opens up inside and you can see the large bundles of the blue perennium that they had already previously collected. Are you all still good to travel?
If we can make it till morning, then I can teleport most of us back. And then communicate to open up a tree to help y'all out.
Well, I would say, given what has transpired here today, this is likely not a safe place to make camp.
Yeah.
What I can help with, follow me. Your group falls behind Baernie, further down the crevasse, to where she stops at one kind of outcropping, lifts her hand, concentrates, and you watch as the stone itself carves magically in moments, building a small cavern where there was none previously.
Nice.
You all step in, and she closes it behind. Lanterns light up around, and you have a tight but comparably safe and closed space for the evening's rest. Tired, beaten, but successful in many degrees. You take the things that you've learned, the people you've helped, and the hope that you carry into what you bring back to Keyleth and the Ashari of Zephyra in the morning. That's we'll go ahead and finish up the next episode.